Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll run it here.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Garrett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases that they were able to exploit right there.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They find some open field here. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 34 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. The tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
The gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 20. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for, is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Set! Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They'll look to throw here. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
On the return, picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
They're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there, becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now. Blue, landed.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On now is the Packers punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Room to run inside the 40. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll set up to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And it's fielded at the 34. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside, because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has them the lead currently. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Breaks a tackle. And some room to roam now. 20. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Avoids him at the 40. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Space to maneuver at the 40. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel
Automatic
right,
first
does
down.
it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first
Personal
down.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy
Automatic
the
first down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
Now let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Fighting room inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Guys have the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Garrett. And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Garrett. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Pearson. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about that?
And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 75 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
I got 40. All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Set. Boom, landed. Boom, landed.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Let's go. What? 90. What?
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 87 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drive.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39. Hot, hot.
He'll look to throw. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
First times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And an alley to run. Oh, he slipped right by him. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now this time he'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any.
There he goes, right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
one of our
she's
guys.
singing, too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Now let's go. Green.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a total